Hello, 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 everyone. This is Dr. David checking in with you. I am excited today because I've been, lots been going on in Planet David. We're in 2023, and I just wanted to jump on and say hi and actually tell you I'm throwing a party in March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Up in Los Angeles, and I wanted to invite each and every one of you to come for free, if you like that. Would that be cool? If you think that's a cool thing, type it in the chat. Chris Harding, still seeking water bottle aspect of image cycling. Great to be here, man. Chris, you're going to have to elaborate. By the way, I'm happy to answer questions, especially about what I'm going to tell you about in just a minute. I need you guys to show the world just how strong and supportive Planet David is. You digging the new background? This is the party that I'm inviting you guys to. March 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Los Angeles. I'll be speaking at the Best You Expo at the Los Angeles Convention Center. It's March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And I've arranged so that all of you, if you want to, can come for free. Okay, so let me explain that a little bit. I, along with tons of other speakers, are getting together to share our best stuff. Now, I don't know if Bernardo Moyo, the gentleman who is running the event, really likes me or not, but he gave me 7 talks throughout the weekend. And I want to give each and every one of you an opportunity to come and hang out and learn some cool stuff, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, for free. Does that sound like a cool thing? By the way, I'm live streaming this through Zoom so that so I can have a recording for it. So you betcha. Okay, so let me do this really quick. No, that's not what I want. Hold on a second. I'm going to go through the talks I've got coming up in just a minute, but let me do this. I'm going to post the link for those of you who want to get your free tickets. I don't know when they're going to pull this offer, but there it is. Click on that link and go get. Oh, KW says I already enrolled. Very cool. So listen, they've given me 7 talks. I think by the way, those of you who don't know who Bernardo Moyo is, I guess it helps if I turn on the record feature, huh? For those of you who don't know who Bernardo Moyo is, he was one of Richard Bandler's biggest promoters many, many years ago in Europe. And he went on to create a forum where coaches, experts, and everything from business to romance could get together to help people with one big mission. And that is to become the very best version of yourself. And I can't think of a better venue to launch. This is actually the first time, one of the first times that I'm going to an event that I didn't create. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a whole new world. But I think this is a great opportunity for those of you who have been to our live events or have attended through virtual events or whatever. You guys can come out and not just work with me, but work with hundreds of other great high-level speakers. I think this is an amazing opportunity, and you can do it for free, right? So, really sounds lovely. Won't be going as Ireland's a bit far away, but fair play for you being so generous. Oh, okay. Well, for those of you who are in Ireland, I'll be actually attending a training out in Dublin, the 13th, the 12th through the 14th and 15th. Okay, so for those of you who are in the Dublin area and you have some free time, maybe we can grab a pint or something, you know. That being said, before I get into the talks we've got coming up at Best You, what questions do you have for me? What can I help you with? What can I enlighten you on, so to speak, in all things Planet David? What do you got for me? Now, there is a bit of a lag. Like I said, no, Real Boy says, no way. Awesome. Yeah. Me and my wife will be there. I'll be attending. I'm working on my doctorate in Chinese energetic medicine. And so one of the classes is actually going to be in Dublin. It's a 3-day makeup class because I missed the training. So I'm going back and they're going to put me through my paces, and then we're going to maybe go kiss the Blarney Stone a little bit. And we'll see where we go from there. So what questions you got? Otherwise, I'll just go into my little pitch. Where's the training? This, which training are we talking about? The one in Ireland or the ones that I'm going to be doing up in LA? Oh, good afternoon, Patrick Hollywood. Good afternoon, Patrick. Chris, starting when image cycling, the video volume of the particle, what is the process of the water bottles? How to, okay. So when you're going to, the reason we do the water bottle drill with image cycling, by the way, for those of you who can't travel, this particular training is also available virtually. So you can get a virtual ticket and attend online as well. You don't have to be there in person. It's Chinese energetic medicine, Taoist Chinese energetic medicine training. Let me finish Chris's question about image cycling, then I'll go into the other stuff. The reason, I don't have a water bottle with me, but let's use this cup. The reason you do the water bottle training is to prove that you actually created a change. So the way it works is once you've completed your cycling and you've done your priming, okay, you take 2 bottles of sealed bottles of water, you mark one control, you put that under your chair. You mark the other one experiment, you hold that in your left hand. And then you, for 5, 10, 15 minutes, all you do is just image cycle. You don't worry about the bottle in your hand. You just image cycle, right? When I'm doing it in the training, I do it for 5 to 10 minutes just to show you. Normally, if you're doing image cycling, you would do it longer or as long as it's fun for you. At the end of 5 or 10 minutes, they put that bottle aside. They take their control. They take it. They crack it open. They take a sip. And they seal it and they put it down. They wait a minute. They open the experiment bottle. They crack it. They take a sip and they notice the difference in the waters. That's how it works. The changing of the water has nothing to do with anything other than to prove that through just the process of image cycling, you can create fundamental changes in matter, right? We're not actively trying to program the water. It's just something that channels through you that changes the water. Now, can you program water to do things? Yes, you can. Okay. Let me scroll up a little bit here. Jill Button says, I just signed up. Awesome, Jill. I love you. Blue, why do I act dumb around people behaving in a way I would never behave when I'm alone? Because you're afraid and you want to be accepted. And you think that your normal self, the way you would normally act, won't be good enough. So you try to be something you're not. It's that simple. It's a way to get attention. And my guess is if you track the origins of that behavior, it probably started when you were a little kid, or you actually acted out in a certain way and somebody laughed and you felt good about it and your neurology just decided to keep that behavior. Okay. Well, thank you. That's the first time I've ever actually pronounced anything remotely Gaelic correctly. Let's see here. Oddball says, where is this training? So the best you will be in Los Angeles. The training I'm going to in Dublin is going to be, I can't even pronounce the name of the hotel. If you guys want to hang on later, I'll see if I can find the hotel and I'll let you look at it so you can see. Let's see here. David Orman, Central Florida System, and my brother from another mother. Do you have a link for signing up for your monthly sessions and memberships? David, are we talking about the mastermind or my unlimited influence coaching program? I have links for both. Which one do you want? Patrick says, I'm just now getting here. Okay. Ghostwriter. Hello, what was up with the Saturn square, by the way? That particular magic square in the Eastern or in the Western tradition is known as the square of Saturn. In the Taoist and the Chinese traditions, it's known as the Lo Shu. And it's actually the foundation of much of what Taoist magic and cosmology works off of. It's one of those places where East meets West. And so when I was initiated energetically into whatever path I'm on, the person who used that, or who did the initiation, used that particular configuration to pass an attunement onto me. And one day I was walking through a mall in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, and I decided, since I was going to a martial arts training, I wanted to kind of supercharge myself. So I made myself a little magician's cap, and I put the little shoe or the magic square on there. So that's the origin story. Let's see here. KW, did I answer that question? The name is Taoist Chinese Energetic Medicine. So Chris isn't sure when you just hold the minute you start cycling, you just hold the bottle. You don't even worry about it. Just hold it in your left hand and let everything else happen. That's the secret to image cycling. Antron Petty is asking, oh wait, Trevor Barnhart says, I'm excited to see you in person. Thank you for sharing this opportunity. My pleasure. I recommend you guys go grab your tickets. I don't know how long they're going to be offering the free ticket thing, but they've given literally, I don't know that anybody else has as many talks at the expo as I do. So you're going to get a literal David buffet. Plus, when I'm not speaking, I'll have a booth there. You can come hang out at the booth. We'll probably be doing like little mini classes or little mini treatments or readings or face readings or stuff at the booth. We're still working out we're going to be there for a full 3 days. So come in, hang out, and it's going to be it's like 90,000 square feet, folks. There's going to be speakers there on every single thing in personal growth, business development that you can imagine. So when you're not hanging out with me, you can go hang out with some really cool people who like to teach cool stuff to other cool people. Right. So let's see here. Let's see. Antron, I want to use the language patterns to start copywriting. How do I start the material better when I'm on my own? Thank you. Start with an outcome. Right. When you're doing copywriting, the first thing to understand is you got to begin with the end in mind. What's the offer? What's the action you want them to take? Okay. And then when you start using the language patterns, first write your copy. And then go back and look for places where you can inject the patterns to make your copy better. Okay. Everything starts with pacing and leading. So if you want to, your headline's got to get people's attention. It's got to want them to read the first line of your copy. The job of your first line of copy is to get them to read the second line. Okay. You've got to show people. You've got to make an outrageous claim. You've got to show people that you understand where they're coming from, which is in NLP is called pacing. And then show them how you had their problem, or the person you're writing for had that problem, and how they solved it. You've got to anticipate objections, answer the objections before they have a chance to ask them, and then show proof through risk removal, right? And then add scarcity and go in for your close. Okay. Let's see here. But I would always start by writing the copy first and then adding the language patterns in afterwards. Remember, all good writing, especially copywriting, is rewriting. Okay. Get the first couple things out on the page and then go back and edit it. Let's see here. Mastermind. If you go to the davidsnydernlp.com/mastermind, there should be a link to sign up. If not, David, then go to call 858-282-4663. Ask for Stephanie and tell her you want to join the mastermind. She'll send you a link. I love you says free tickets. Yes. All you got to do to get your free tickets is go here. Okay. It's my New Year's gift to you, right? I don't know why that's being held. For those of you who are you guys seeing the link okay? I'm not sure if it's coming through or not. Alessandra says, any recommendations for starting with self-defense and martial arts? I think it really depends on your body type. If you're a big person, then you can do just about anything. If you're not a big person, you want to look at arts that were created by small people or that give small people an advantage. I like Wing Chun for small people, Filipino martial arts for small people. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is okay, but it's limited. Small circle Jiu-Jitsu is a good one, but it's hard to find. So I would say probably Wing Chun and the Filipino martial arts would probably give you the biggest bang for your buck fast. But a lot of what when we talk about self-defense and martial arts, there's so many different flavors out there, right? You have to find what resonates with you, but also many times it's about what's available in your area. You deal with what's in your area until you can do something better, right? Let's see here. Let's see here. Ghostwriter says, "You my inspiration. I love how you treat your daughter. I want to be a dad like you when I get kids. She's going to be your successor." I have a feeling that Sophie's going to take over the world, and we're not even going to see it coming. She is she is 9 years old, and she's one of the most dangerous. She just can look into your soul and know what buttons to press. It's really gratifying and terrifying at the same time. Alessandro says, "Looking forward to the training." Awesome sauce. Patrick says, "I'm sure someone already asked this, but when is this event taking place?" The Best You Expo will be taking place March 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2023 at the Los Angeles Convention Center. And like I said, I'm inviting all of you. I want all of you there. If you can get yourself a David Snyder t-shirt or wave a sign that says "I'm with David." I just want Bernardo to know just how passionate and cool the citizens of Planet David are, right? I'm not, and I want to get to meet every single one of you. If all I get to do is say hi, shake your hand, and thank you for being such a loyal supporter, so much the better. If I can actually share something with you that makes your life better, that would make my week. Let's see here. Let's see. Visky Play says, "So I recently watched your 3 magic questions. What if I ask someone some of the questions in text already? Am I screwed?" Not at all. Remember, people's favorite subject is themselves. And one of the interesting things about using, and because 3 magic questions is an extension of the echo technique, because the echo technique is such a fundamental neurologically desirable part of communication, you can talk about the same stuff over and over and over again, and they'll be happy with it because it's their stuff. Right? How many times, and you see this most commonly in older folks, like people in their 50s, 60s, really 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, where you really, how many times have you been with people and they tell you the same story every single time you're together? They never get tired of it, right? If you do it artfully, you can talk about the same stuff forever and really create a deep connection. So no, you're not screwed at all. Hold on a second. Let's see here. So I love you says, "Going through a terrible divorce, and my girlfriend just told me she's a lesbian and we can't be together anymore. 3 magic questions sure did work, but it couldn't change her orientation." All right. Well, you know what? Those things happen, right? And you never know. Some people circle back. They always have a case of the grass is greener. Ghostwriter, yes, seeing the link, very good. Renan Blair, Findom Empire, I see the link, perfect. Yes, it's coming through, beautiful. Chris Harding says that comment was from earlier, though you answered it awesomely originally, thank you, good. Patrick says we see the link. David says thank you. Ashwin is laughing at me. Oddball 6 says, "Why can't you do what you can until you do what you like?" That's obviously in relation to the martial arts, and I agree. Chris Harding says the link is all good. Nathan Mayer says, "Is the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind the same thing?" Pretty much. I make arbitrary distinctions when we talk about the other than conscious mind, which is the complex of the subconscious, the unconscious, and the superconscious. My distinction when I talk about the unconscious versus the subconscious is I think of the subconscious mind as the repository of our emotions, memories, feelings. I look at the unconscious mind as the part of us that controls the biological and electrochemical functions, our hormonal balances, our breathing rates, the heartbeat. But those are really arbitrary distinctions. They're not necessarily ones that other people would make. But that's how I define it. So a lot of times when I'm talking about that whole complex or that whole constellation, we're talking about, I'll often say the other than conscious mind, or I'll simply say the nervous system, right? Because the nervous system pretty much covers all of it. Let's see here. Ghostwriter says, what inspired the setup? It's so cool. Been a fan since 2014. I love the illusion. Well, this particular background is actually, I got this actually from Bernardo, who runs The Best You. And if you guys see Bernardo at the event, please thank him for hosting an event that allows so many great people to be influenced and be influenced by so many people. Do you like this? Do you like this background? It's pretty cool, huh? What inspired you to set up? It's so cool. Been a fan since 2014. Wow, you're a veteran. Love your evolution. Robin says, thanks for being such a great mentor. Thank you so much for your support and for finding value in what we do and actually going out and using the materials, right? The proof is in the pudding. You don't got to believe it. You just got to do it. And that's kind of been my life's work. What's stuff that I don't have to believe in order for it to work, right? If you believe in it, so much the better. But if it works independent of belief, I think it's even more powerful. Thanks. Kimmy is saying, we'd like to touch on release of ancestral paradigms, confidence to start a whole new income stream that differs from anything I've done. Okay. I would start with the transformational triad, first and foremost. We always start with the least invasive, most global stuff, and then we transition to other things. So I would start there. If that's still not getting you the that's not getting you the bang for your buck that you need, then you go to identity by design, and then you go to and then from there you go into regression techniques. Okay, that's a lot of training for you to go through. It might actually be easier to reach out to somebody who's already trained in these techniques and work with them, but that would be the optimal progression for you to make all the internal changes you want to make, and then transition into the external skill sets that you want to apply in a new profession. Lucy Pro says, thank you for your technique you explained. You're very welcome. Nathan says, thank you for your answer, Dr. Snyder. You're very welcome. You can just call me Dr. David or D or whatever you want. Just don't call me asshole, because I got enough people doing that already. How do you refresh yourself when you feel run down? A lot of times I sleep, I read, or I binge watch Netflix. I'm a big comic book junkie, so I spend a lot of time on the Marvel Studio channels and things like that. But usually I just cloister myself in a room, and I read, I study, I meditate, I practice my energetic work for me, and then we go from there. I'm a little off center in my camera, and it's making me a little crazy. I'm someone who likes things to be symmetrical, likes to be centered, stuff like that. So, and let me see here. Are you guys enjoying yourself? Has this been useful so far? Superiority complex. Can you tell us a safe Darth Snyder story? I don't have any safe Darth Snyder stories. But if you come to Killer Influence or Attraction Mastery next month, Killer Influence is coming up January 24th through the 28th. It's a 5-day training. It's the #1 rated NLP course in the world. We're going to be doing it live in Las Vegas. If you guys want to hear some real cool Darth Snyder stories and kind of get deep dive into these skills that the best behavior people in the world are fascinated by, then by all means, come on out. If you want to do more about attraction, dating, whether you're male or female, we have Attraction Mastery coming up I think it's February. We're doing that for Valentine's Day. It's a 4-day training that you guys come out. I'll show that when I go through all the talks I've got coming up and stuff. I'll show you guys how to do that. But in the meantime, if you go to the link I'm posting in the chat right here, you can get free tickets to the Best You Expo. And I'm going to actually go over all the things I'm going to be teaching, but I wanted to invite you guys to just come and hang out, see the talks for free, stuff like that. And by the way, if you're like, I know one of our people was in Ireland, there is a virtual option. So you can either come in person, which I encourage, but if you can, if you're across the pond, as they say, and you want to hang out, then the ticket is good virtually. You can log in through Zoom or the Best You TV or whatever. I think Roku is doing it, Apple TV is doing it. You can attend virtually, right? And so I don't know what Bernardo will let me do in terms of personal streaming, in terms of being able to stream to this channel, but we'll see. It'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Ghostwriter says, been there since the C2 days. Rest, yeah. James was a great loss. He was a great friend. He was a founding member of the NLP Power Mastermind Mentoring Program. And in honor of James, I still actually sell the courses where he co-taught because I think he was too important a person in our evolution of Planet David to just let fade into the background. So for those of you who've been around for a while, who know who James C2 was, grab a copy of like Stealth Selling Secrets or the early Renegade of Hypnosis or Identity by Design, so you can honor James's memory. If you don't know him, then it'll be nice, but you don't have to do that. But for those of you who knew James, he was an amazing practitioner, good friend. When I went to Israel, you guys have often heard me tell my Israel stories. James was my assistant. I didn't want to go alone, so I took James, and he rocked it while he was out there. So I think his books are still available too. If you go to Amazon and type in James C2, he's got 2 or 3 books that he wrote. They're worth having. Right. Renan Blair, Founder Empire, says, my friend who I recently got into spinning had really bad back pain last night. They say they spun it and it didn't help at all. It wasn't there, but doesn't make sense. Perhaps they were not absorbed. There's a couple of things with back pain that you have to look for. A, he might not have been doing it right. B, he might not have been asking the right question. It's often more challenging, especially for new people, to do it on themselves. So it might be easier for you to guide them through it. But I think also 2 little tweaks I've learned with back pain. 1, make sure you magic frame it before you spin it. And B, sometimes it's actually better to ask a slightly different question. Like when I had really bad back pain, I tried spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and it would not go away. And I could, for 2 or 3 weeks, I could barely walk across the street. And I had this meetup that I had to do, right? And so I'm literally, it took me 10 minutes to cross the street to get to my car. I'm driving to my clinic to get the equipment that I need to go do this meetup. And I'm going to be on my feet for 3 hours, and I can barely stand. And I'm pulling up to this stoplight, and I get this download, right? And the download says, accelerate the healing. And I'm like, what? And then I got it. I said, rather than trying to get rid of the pain, accelerate the speed of healing. And so I asked myself a different question. I said, well, if there was a place or part of my body or a place in my body where the speed at which I healed was controlled, where would it be? First impression. And it literally pointed to my third eye. I said, if there were color connected to the speed at which I heal, what color would it be? And I forget what color it was, but I'm literally sitting at a stoplight. I take the energy out, I find the direction that accelerates the healing, and I double the spin, double the speed, double the force, double the magnitude. I keep doubling it over and over and over again. Now I'm about 4 blocks from my clinic when this is happening. My pain on a 0 to 10 scale is like 11, right? I slam it back in. I saw white, like my whole brain, I just fuzzed out. And I was like, I just twitched in the chair for like 10 or 15 seconds. And I came back, I was like stoned. By the time I went from the stoplight that was 4 blocks away from my clinic to pulling into the parking garage of the clinic, my pain dropped from like a 10 or 11 to a 3. By the time I got to the venue, it was gone. Okay. And that was one of those, it's a very unique situation. I had never had spinning not work that well prior, and then I got this download, but it was with back pain. So I would magic frame it, then I would have him actually do the spinning thing himself. And then I would frame the speed at which, or I would spin the speed at which it heals and see if that creates a significant change. Okay. If there's something biomechanically wrong, you may not get 100%, because if he's slipped a disc or something like that, you have to adjust those biomechanics first. Okay. Or in combination. So again, I'm not a one-trick pony or believe that one way is the only way. You find the combination of things that work best, but I hope that helps. Let's see here. Deepak Rajoytia says, please tell me some deep NLP and psychology books. Deep, I don't know what you mean by deep NLP, my friend. If you could elaborate on that a little bit in terms of what you want to be able to do, I might be able to give you a better idea. Renan says, lying about trying to spin it because it should work. Okay, he could be lying. Some people will just humor you, or some people just don't want you to be right because they want that pain because it gets them something, which is why I always recommend starting with Magic Frame, because Magic Frame tends to bring secondary gain to the surface, so it's easier to deal with. Okay. Pied Piper, if fainting can be brought on by suggestion, talking about bloody surgery causes fainting, what do you see as the difference between fainting and hypnosis? Largely in fainting, you would not normally consider someone to be very suggestible in a faint, although the unconscious mind never shuts off. But literally, if you can talk somebody into fainting by talking about surgery, that's a form of suggestion, which is a form of hypnosis. Renan says, gonna hop on my Ivy Bunny account. Okay. Ivy's arrived. Okay, good. Let's see here. Ghost Rider says, what's your thoughts on pop culture magic like evoking Spider-Man and Iron Man? I think they can work. Remember that the ability to do magic is inherent in you as a human being. What changes is the symbology and the iconography that you're using. If you invest time and energy and effort into avatars like Spider-Man and Iron Man, whatever associations you make, the more you compound those, the more powerful they'll become for you. That's basically chaos magic, right? As long as there's a story that can capture and lead the imagination and focus the imagination, then the symbolics will work. Patrick says, yep, I'm always adding to your notes file. I love you says, hold on a second. The mirror and repeater technique is the best and simple. I would agree. What is micro jujitsu? I have no idea what micro jujitsu is. Ashwin says we miss James. I miss him too, brother. Okay. Phil Perry says, be careful. Lost over 1,500 pounds when he never offered a refund from NLP training in NLP. Okay, I don't know anything about that, but you have to take that up with Bernardo. Still working on manifesting a specific person back. Be very careful about trying to manifest a person back. Generally speaking, there's a reason you guys split in the first place, and until you address those reasons, you're more likely to create the same dynamic that caused the split in the first place. So my recommendation, and this may happen as a byproduct of your image cycling, is that you'll actually go through a bunch of shit that causes you to change. So you become a person who can have that person back. Or better yet, focus on an easier, attract somebody who has the same characteristics as the person that you're trying to get back, but work on yourself at the same time. Okay. Nice thing about manifestations, if you're not happy with the manifestation you create, you can always manifest something else. Akiyama says, I'm so excited. I'm so excited too. Here's that link again. And again, these are free tickets. So, and you can also attend virtually. So Ghostwriter asking, not to sound insensitive, how did he die? Because I love his books. He died from side effects of the COVID-19 vaccination. His heart just gave out. But they're attributing it directly to the side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine. It's a tremendous, tremendous loss. Moving on. Chris Harding, is there a particular way to switch from image to image when image cycling you prefer? No, there's only two rules with image cycling. A, avoid ritual. B, be as playful as humanly possible. So whatever works, you can do a different way of image cycling every single day, as long as you're doing your list. And then you remove, when things manifest, you remove them from your list and you add something else. And there are no hard and fast rules. Now, I add a lot of hypnotic and neuro-linguistic bells and whistles to my image cycling, my version of the image cycling process. But those are not things that you would necessarily see Bill doing. Okay, so what you see is my version of what I learned from Bill. Right. Ghostwriter says, how do you use transpersonal planets in your spiritual practices? Other than the Kabbalistic astrological symbology that you often see as my background, and being very aware of Mercury retrograde, I don't. In the Taoist systems that I'm studying, huge amount of astrology, but I don't use it because I don't have. A lot of times when I'm out in the world, I need to create an effect on the spot, and so I don't have time to look at where, what moon is circling my anus or what moon is circling Uranus, and to have an effect. So I just go right to the most powerful magical practices or manifestation practices that I know. I don't worry about the moon or the sun or anything like that. Okay, I understand the influences. I understand the importance of it. It doesn't factor into my way of moving through the world. If I were going to do full-blown rituals and things like that, I might take those into account, but those would be almost so far down the line that they would almost never actually come in. Let's see here. Ivy Red Bean Bunny says, thank you, David, taking notes. Anyone having trouble registering for the ticket, by the way? If anybody is, then let us know and call Stephanie at 858-282-4663 and have her email you a link. Okay. Superior Complex says, can you post a link to your recommended reading list? I'll have to go look it up. I know I have it somewhere, and it's really extensive. It's probably over 200 books by now. It's just a stupid amount of books, but that's just how it is. But remind me and I'll try and post it. I won't be able to do it right now, but I'll post it later on. Something good will happen. There is a $7 book online I find insulting. Okay, I have no idea what that's about. I'm curious, what's the name of the instructor in Ireland class you're taking? Well, the head of the system is Dr. Jerry Allen Johnson. This particular class will be run by two of his TAs. The head instructor for that training will be Diego San Miguel, and I think Dr. Chris, I can't remember Chris's last name, but he's a really good guy. I like him. They're both out of LA. Okay, so selecting Boy says, I want I want to watch online. Seems to just display a countdown timer to when the tickets will no longer be available. Is it just me? How's it going? I don't know. This is all new for me, but I'll take a look at it. Do.the.love.jbutt. I have used your techniques to heal lots of trauma, and I appreciate all you have given us here online for free. My pleasure. This is why I do it. Pay it forward. Go out into the world and make the world a better place. Make other people's lives better, starting with your own. That's our whole program. Right? Lucy says, I'm struggling with switching between states and creating the state I want to go into. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. I'd have to observe you and see where you're going wrong. My guess is you're not holding your posture and breathing. Santhi Maldi from India. Namaste, my friend. Low lip. Hi, David. I've been having issues meditating. 2 years ago, I could do it fine and go deep into a theta state, but for the past 7 or so months, I just can't meditate and let go. Any tips? What was going on in your life 7 months ago? Chances are there was some kind of an abreactive process or some major life event that corresponded with that particular phenomena. And if you can track it back, you can neutralize it and get back to your deeper meditations. Visky Play says, you mentioned the echo technique. First of all, what is that? Second, any advice on motivating myself to become better? Yeah, focus. First of all, the echo technique is to use a person's very own words, as close to just how they came out of their mouth as humanly possible. We have whole videos devoted to learning how to do the echo technique on Planet David's channel, on the channel. By all means, use them, watch them. Motivating yourself, start with the emotional motivation checklist, which is what do you want? What do you want? What's the result? You want to focus on the result you're going to get rather than the process you need to go to get there. And you'll be amazed at how quickly things change. Sarah Kelsey Channel. I just joined the live. How to attend the course? All you got to do is go to this link. davidsnyder.nlp.com/free tickets Best You Expo. Right? You have two options. You can attend live in person, or you can attend virtually. The tickets are free, and it's March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They've given me 7 talks throughout the weekend, so I'm really excited. The only place I get nearly as much stage time is at the HypnoThoughts Live Hypnosis Convention. Bernardo's a big fan of Planet David. And so I'm looking forward, I hope things work out, you never know, but let's show the best you people just what Planet David looks like when it shows up in force. I'm really excited about this, like a David Snyder flash mob, right? Like everybody from Planet David just showing up in whatever paraphernalia they have. And I think it would just be fun. Ashwin is asking, hold on a second. This is David's manifestation. Something will happen. Always works for me, Jeff. Jeff is a living, breathing example of when you adopt the something will happen mantra, what can happen? Does standing up straight release stress? It can, for sure. Much more so than standing in a hunched or distorted posture, for sure. Well, Couchman says, how do we train street armor? I think that's where your aura contracts into your body and acts as a shield. That's part of it. The other part is you have to build the density of the armor. And so a lot of people like wrap themselves in white light. From my Taoist trainings and from my Egyptian trainings, I have like the Merkaba that I use, which is a great form of street armor. My Golden Shield training, which is another form of street armor that I can use, but it actually has physical benefits as well. And then I use the Wushin meditation, which is a kind of like a medicine wheel where you spin the energy around and you bring it into the body and it fills your energy fields. And I also have a process we call pulling down the heavens, which I'll be teaching at the Best You Expo. Among other things, I'll be doing like a cross section of everything in Planet David, from the energetic arts to the persuasion and influence arts to the manifestation arts and martial arts. So Ashwin's asking, would you know how asthma appears in someone overnight? Usually it's from a repressed emotion, usually grief, sorrow, or sadness. but almost, in my experience, these things are never overnight. They manifest like seemingly out of nowhere, but they've been building for a long time. Chris Harding says, I learned IC from you and it has been semi-indescribable. Okay. Thank you, man. Every technique harnessed is and has been used in the highest ways. More grateful than anything. Thank you. And Chris, you are very, very welcome. That's all I want to hear. Just people using it and getting somewhere is gone. I can't get access to the free ticket either. I'd love to join. Has anyone figured it out? Again, there might be a customer service phone number there, or give Stephanie a call or send her an email at 858-282-4663 and let her know you're having trouble registering, and she'll see what we can do about getting you registered. VTH or VT Heeman says, when are you next seminar in London? Also, thank you for all your hard work. Your material has changed my life. Thank you so much. That is so gratifying. I'm looking at 2024. This year we're going to Australia, and then in May, and then I think October or November, we're going to Costa Rica to do another hardcore energy training retreat. So for those of you who get the prereqs in and want to come hang out in a very tropical location with lots of cool people who want to learn really cool stuff that no one's ever going to teach anywhere else, come on down. Ghostwriter says, man, what's the secret to your success besides amazing products? Being relentless, having as much fun as humanly possible, and finding shit that really works and sharing it. That's really what it is. If you know, those things. Find something you love that works and do it a lot, no matter what gets in your way, and find ways to share it. Give value and never be shy about asking for value in return. Okay. But a lot of the secrets of my success are the people in that chat right there. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing the way I'm doing it if it wasn't for the amazing people who gravitate to this information, you know. And so you are one of the secrets to my success, right? I know that sounds hokey, but it's just how I feel. Patrick Hollywood, Planet David got a little hashtag emoji and said, hold on a second. Antron was saying, does reading my motivational checklist daily help develop a state to achieve my specific goals? It will amplify your motivation and remind you why you're doing what you're doing. You still have to take the actions to get it. Okay. Cornelius says, thank you for the free online ticket. Cornelius, you are very welcome, my friend. Lucy Pearl says, thank you, David. That makes sense. Since I had COVID a month ago, I struggled to breathe properly. Okay. So you were asking me about James, I think. Let's see here. Kimmy says, are you familiar with the Silva mind control method? Heartfelt apology. No, I'm very familiar with Silva. It's basically hypnosis. And that's really what Jose Silva did, is he took hypnotic processes, gave it a new name that didn't have a stigma attached to it, and taught it to people. So bravo. And then people extrapolated and built on those foundations. Good stuff, right? Patrick is asking, when I get the crystals to do so, I'm going to use the cathedral technique using the Higgs boson for street armor and other things. Okay, I'm not familiar with those things, but let us know how it works for you. Ghostwriter, in the sexual romantic, will you cover that too? Ghostwriter, what are can you restate the question? Because I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me. Rowan's asking how to get free tickets. You go to davidsnydernlp.com/free tickets, Best You Expo. And you'll be taken to a page where you can sign up for free tickets, or I highly recommend, if you can afford, if you can, come hang out with us live and in person at the Los Angeles Convention Center, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Cornelius says, I've purchased your material in the past. Cheers. Thank you for your support, Cornelius. Low lip. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Thank you for your answer. One more question. What's your opinion of Carl Smith from UK Hypnosis Academy? Carl is awesome. I help, I remember Carl when he was apprenticing to another person, and I've watched him really grow and blossom. He's easily one of the most fearless hypnotists out there. Failure is not an option where Carl is concerned. So I have a lot of respect for Carl. In fact, he's invited me to promote my stuff on his channel anytime I wanted to. I haven't done it yet just because I feel weird going into somebody else's, pond and trying to be the big fish. So I haven't done it yet, but he's invited me to do that. So I think Carl's great. I think you'll be very happy with Carl. I'd be surprised if you weren't. Okay. Benjamin Grateful. So to describing the register issue, if it's the same for all of them, when you click on join live or in person, and it doesn't give you the next option to sign up, I'm not sure how that works. Benjamin says, yes, I'm certain Stephanie will help. She's awesome at her. She is the best. I could run my business without her, but I would hate it. Stephanie, I meet so many trainers who want a Stephanie and can't find one. Like, I'm constantly worried whenever I show up at like summits and things like that, that somebody's going to try and hire her away. But you know what? She loves you guys so much. She loves Planet David so much. I haven't tested it, but I think she'd do it for free. Right? I would never do that. But I think she's just so passionate about all of this, and she's literally, for those of you who don't know, she's literally the most powerful woman in the hypnosis world. And I won't elaborate why that is. I'm just glad she's on our side. So, Superior Complex says, what kind of marketing would you recommend for hypnotherapists looking for clients? Anytime you can get in front of an audience and demonstrate your skills, best marketing there is, period. Okay. Most of you those of you who are longtime viewers of the channel, you're here because you watched a video of me doing something in front of an audience, right? That's the best marketing you can have. It's the best content you can put out. Audience-based content versus talking head content has a higher perceived value. So go for that, right? Like the stuff I'm doing here is fun and it's exciting. But if I were doing this in front of a live audience, exact same questions, exact same background, but there was an actual audience, you'd actually be far more engaged and getting far more value from it. Even though I like to think you're getting a lot of value now. There's just this weird little thing that when there's a physical live audience present, there's a lot more cred to it, right? Any place you can get in front of live people and videotape it or live stream it, that's the best marketing you can do, okay? Because it's infinitely leverageable. And that's what you need in an internet-based, consumption-based environment. Everybody here is content is king. Everybody's hungry to consume content. So the more you can do that, the better off you are. Trevor says, don't be afraid to ask for value in return. I struggle with that so often, though I try to be as valuable to others as possible. Yes, that's where the biggest hangup is people are willing to give value, but very hesitant to ask for that value in return because they believe that somebody won't pay for it. What's in many cases, the difference between a $100, $150 watch and a $50 watch is literally $100. There's no difference. It's the same fucking watch, right? So again, but there is a perception that the higher priced watch is actually a better quality. You'll also have that phenomenon manifest when you charge more for your services. First of all, you'll be perceived as having higher levels of skill. And second of all, you'll get a higher quality of customer. You'll get people who are actually more likely to do what you ask. They're more likely to get a deeper level of benefit from working with you. Don't ask me, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. That's how it is. The more you charge for your services, the better you are overall because you get better customers, you give better service, you have higher perceived value. There's no downside. Okay, making it up in volume is the fool's way of doing it. So again, I've learned this the hard way from doing this from 20 or 30 years in various venues, and so get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that means raising your prices. Mercy K says, hi, David, thank you for this. I'd love to know how you react in the moment when you see or hear negative news. I get pissed off for a few seconds, then I control my posture, control my breathing, and I try to reframe it for myself. I look for the benefits. and I give it to the universe and say something will happen. Jeff says, I cannot find how to submit my online ticket. I don't know. That's the only thing I can say is give Stephanie a call or send her an email and see if there's some walk around that Amelia is is Bernardo's virtual assistant over at the Best You Expo. I don't know if you'll get directly to her, but I'm sure she has a workaround for it. Ghostwriter, during the March convention stuff, will you cover sexual and romantic stuff? Not this time around. I have a 4-day training coming up where I cover the sexual and romantic stuff. It's called Attraction Mastery. I'll be doing that in February in Las Vegas. So if you want more of that stuff, I recommend you sign up for that particular training. Carl Ward to Dr. David. Can I learn killer influence without extra training? Do you mean without having to go through prerequisites? There are no prerequisites for killer influence if that's what you're asking. If there's something else that you're asking, let me know. Okay, Patrick, we'll see you later. Registered, thank you. How do you get Stephanie? For those of you who need to get to Stephanie, go to 858-282-4663, or you can email her at stephanie@nlppower.com, and she will try to answer you as quickly as possible. Kind of coming into the home stretch here. Would it be okay for you guys if I actually go through? Are you guys actually interested in the classes I'll actually be teaching, or the little breakouts I'll be teaching at the Best You, or should I just keep answering your regular questions? Just type in the chat what you want. Antron, I would not enlist your wife's help. Just get really good at the techniques and focus on the things she's not familiar with, because anything that she studies you with, you're not going to be able to use with her. Yeah, Roy, I just posted the email address for Stephanie. Let's see, Red Violet 182. I guess live chat could help social desirability if an in-person audience is not. Yes, here's the secret. Interactiveness is the key. If you want to see how what interactiveness looks like, go watch my webinars. Right? How many times am I asking questions and I'm saying type yes in the chat? Tell me where you're from. How many type done when you did this? The interactiveness, the gamification of your content is what keeps people engaged. The worst thing in my opinion, the worst thing you can do is just have a PowerPoint with no change of picture, no change of depth or dynamism is what keeps the brain engaged, right? One of the things you want to do if you're going to do virtual content, I really recommend you do not sit when you're doing your stream. You're going to have more energy. You're going to be more dynamic. You're going to be more animated if you're standing. Okay, lots of little tricks to make this stuff super powerful. Okay. Chris Lee is asking, is the free ticket just for online or for live as well? Yes, it's live as well. If you're in the LA area or want to come to LA for those 3 days, this free ticket will get you a free admission. Okay. Yeah, Ghostwriter says charging higher prices filters out bad players. It really does. It really does. Okay. You don't necessarily have to Google it, Cindy. You can just type davidsnyder.nlp.com/free tickets Best You Expo. Let me give you the link once again. It's the same page, it just tracks you. See, I want people, the reason I gave you this link is because I want them to know who I'm sending. Right? I don't know that I get anything for it because it's all free, but the whole point is that I want them to know I'm supporting them. Okay. So that's why I gave you that particular, it's got a tracking cookie on it. Let's see here. Okay. Cheers, I'll reach out to her. Carl Ward says, I'm just a rookie beginner. Start with Killer Influence. We got a live event coming up in January at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. It is the apps. If you're coming in for influence applications, it is the absolute best course. It's been named since 2020. It's been the #1 NLP course in the world. Chase Hughes loved the course so much, he gave me one of his master behavior practitioner pins because it was so powerful when we co-taught Spycraft, which those videos are going to be available soon. So for those of you who want to see Chase Hughes and I co-teaching for a full 4 or 5 days, those videos, as soon as we get them back from the editor and we pay him off, so to speak, that'll be available for sale. Let's see. Let me put this out there. I'm just going to keep posting this link until you guys tell me you're sick of it. Okay, go through the class list. All right, so if you just bear with me, we'll show you what we got coming up. All right, so here's what we got coming up. Oops, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. One of the first talks we'll be talking, for those of you who are interested in persuasion, influence, and really the whole killer influence system, the CPI system. It's charisma on command, 7 secrets for inspiring anyone to believe what you say and do what you want, all without lying, cheating, or stealing. We'll be giving you an instant dive into the 2 or 3 most powerful techniques, as well as all the other elements. We noticed we said 7. There's actually probably going to be more than 7. It's going to be closer to 10 things that we're going to teach you about. Things like the echo technique, how to make people believe what you say and do what you want, how to have them hanging on your every word, how to make people want to do the things they just told you they didn't want to do, right? How to make anything you say mean anything you want in the minds of your listener, how to make anything you want cause anything you want in the minds of your listener, how to capture and lead people's focus of attention to the exclusion of everything else. Then we're going to talk about how to attract abundance, clearing your energy field, NLP, and the law of attraction. One of the things that we talk about a lot in my Hidden Laws of Attraction course is that the law of attraction isn't one law. It's several different laws that combine to create the phenomena that most people talk about. In this little crash course, we're going to talk about the hidden laws of mental dynamics. We're going to talk about the 7 hermetic principles. We're going to talk about how we can use NLP to remove blocks from your energy field and accelerate your ability to manifest things in your life in the shortest amount of time possible. From there, we're going to go into how to read anyone instantly, face reading, body language, and behavior secrets exposed. Once again, we'll teach you some of the master keys to being able to look at somebody's face and know their personality and temperament, and then be able to read their micro expressions, but also to look at their clothing, their posture, and determine the level of rapport and connection that you have. These are, again, all things that we have much more in-depth courses on, but it'll be your ability to see how I teach and to experience those things for yourself so that you can get out into the world and start understanding people better, predict their behaviors, and actually influence them to do what you want them to do, or protect yourself from people who might not be the most useful people in certain situations. It's a very powerful. Bernardo was super thrilled about this idea. The next one is how to remove blocks to your success, changing your limiting beliefs and removing resistance from your life. Once again, we'll be focusing on how your mind works, how your proprioceptive nervous system and your holographic nervous system conspire to create blockages, and how to remove those in the fastest, easiest, most powerful, and effective way imaginable. We're also going to be talking about how to reprogram your subconscious mind. Once again, for health, wealth, success, and happiness. We'll be doing some more advanced NLP work, some holographic memory work to help you accelerate your mind and orient yourself on the things that make your life better. Right? Len is asking, what is the next step after killer influence? Can I go on to vibration influence afterwards? Yes. In fact, that's usually the best sequence is to start with killer influence, and then if you're into vibration and energetics, go into killer influence. We're also going to be talking spiritual power. Again, this is a kind of a primer on our approach to energetics and how to rapidly heal things in our minds and bodies. We're also going to be doing some very powerful in closed doors meditation processes that allow you to connect all 4 of your bodies, from the divine all the way down to the earth level. And I've had people literally do this process and purge like negative spirits and negative thought forms completely out of their environment. We'll talk about energy spinning. We'll talk about color breathing, how these things relate to your 4 energetic bodies, and how you can use them to amplify your personal power, charisma, and heal yourself from physical and emotional issues. We'll also, oops. So let's see, how to spiritual power, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to remove blocks to success, how to read anyone instantly, how to attract abundance, clearing your energy field, and then of course, charisma on command. So all you got to do to get yours is go to www.davidsnyder.nlp.com/free tickets Best You Expo. So I went through those pretty quick, but plus we're going to have a booth there all week where we'll be doing like little mini courses, little mini trainings and sessions and things like that. So Sarah says, I went to the website, asked to go premium or VIP, and it's under. I think you might have, I don't know where you went, Sarah, but there should be a free ticket option on the page. A lot of people have found it. So for those of you who found it, can you guide Sarah to where she needs to go? Let's see here. Big thank you to Stephanie for helping. I think Stephanie's getting in the game, apparently. Let me see here. I think the link I posted is wrong. Hold on a second. No, that's the right. All right, well, let me do this then. Let me do the free ticket thing. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's right. That's the right page. Yeah, that's the right page. All right. Sorry, I had a freak out moment. Let me see here. Where's my chat? Oh, there we go. Okay. Mr. Snyder is the GOAT like Capricorn. I don't know about that, but thank you for that. It's no there. It's there. It says $29 value, but it says free ticket $29 value. The free isn't as big, but it's there. So which are the 4 energetic bodies and how are they connected? Do you have a video clip on that? I do, but it's not on my public access channel. But I'll give it to you here. You have 4 aspects to you. You have your eternal soul. The soul creates a spiritual body, which generates an energy body, which generates the physical body. We need to harmonize all 4. You know, how would I like to be addressed? Call me Dr. David, you call me David. You know, just don't call me late for dinner, as they say. Aquarian Hira, I love your honesty. I try to be. I think integrity is important. You know, I sometimes misspeak or I say things don't come out quite the way I plan, but I try very, very hard to be the guy who you can take to the bank, you know, but thank you for that, Aquarian. Richard, how can you treat depression, anxiety? Is regression always the answer? More often than not, regression is the answer to everything if nothing else is working. When in doubt, regress to cause has been my go-to. Ghost Rider says, if you're not the GOAT, who is then? I don't know. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jeff says, yes, she helped me complete my request. Good. New Being says, thank you. My pleasure. All right. I've got 5 more minutes, then I got to jump off. But if you enjoyed today's live, if you know people who might benefit from the information, please send them to the davidsnyder.nlp.com/free tickets, Best You Expo page, and just have them grab their free tickets. Let people know, spread the word. You know, I'm getting used to this whole smash that like button, smash that share button. Donkey says, love you, David, love you back. Thank you. But what other questions you got? I got 3 more minutes. What do you got for me? How do we obtain? First, you go through identity by design. Then you sign up for the next regression class. We've got 2 this year. We've got one in Australia, and we've got one, I think, next September. So I would definitely get into identity by design first. The live event, you got to have the live event, and then go to regression training. Any Canadian dates for training? Not just yet, although I have to reach out to my buddy Mike Mandel and see if he still wants me to come to Toronto and do something for my good northern brothers and sisters. But nothing definite yet, so I can't talk about it. Fortune says just register for the free ticket. Thank you. You are welcome, my friend. I'm glad we could help. Again, if you can come up with any cool David paraphernalia, like that Planet David paraphernalia, wear it to the expo. I would love to see what you guys come up with. And if it's really good, I'll buy the rights from you or something and give you credit for developing it. Or I'll give you a free event for an idea that I adopt. What is my opinion on working with external plant medicine? Oh, I think it's great. My wife and I are both herbalists. Let me put it this way. I'm trained in herbalism. My wife is an herbalist. So I absolutely have tremendous belief in plant-based medicine, for sure. Mercy K, I'd love to know if you have one simple thing to do first to break out of feeling stuck. Change your posture, change your breathing. Remember a time when you were unstoppable. If you do those 3 things, you're going to access the states that you had when you weren't stuck, and then you're going to be much more resourced. I like your worm. Yes, your worms are interesting. Thank you. Does your wife got a YouTube like you? If so, what about it? No, for some reason, my wife developed an allergy to all forms of social media. So to get her to even get on camera and wave for a half a second is really challenging. I am working on her because she is a wealth of amazing information, and she actually does really good when she's in front of an audience. But she's more focused on her clinic work. I would love her to do more of this stuff, because I think it would help her on so many levels. But she's got her own way of doing things, and you have to honor and respect that. Ashwin Prasad says it's an amazing dialogue. Registered, love you back. Sarah says, how did you guys register for the free ticket? Couldn't get into it. Can someone guide Sarah, who successfully did it? Could they guide Sarah through the process? Do I offer classes or webinars on magic? Yes, I do. They are part of our vibrational influence training silo. And to get into those classes, you need at least Killer Influence. I would recommend Killer Influence and Identity by Design, and then going into our vibrational influence track. That's where all the really, really radical stuff that actually works, and all the gaps get filled in. NLP helps too, but really for the magical training, Killer Influence, Identity by Design, and any other, those are the 2 I would really recommend you have. If you had Hidden Laws of Attraction and Regression too, that's icing on the cake, but you don't need those to do the magical training. Kimmy's asking you, Kimmy, you are the best, David Snyder. I talk you up in any corner where I can almost get away with it. One of my sisters follows you now too. We love you, honestly. What you see is, thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you for your support, Kimmy, and your sister. God bless her. You guys really, really do make my year. And I look forward to spending more time with you. We're coming into the ghost stress. Did she get burnt by? No, she never got burnt by social media. She's just paranoid. She's very self-conscious. which was weird considering how confident she is. She's just not her thing. You know, I'm the attention whore, I guess. You know, somewhere is gone is for people who are having a problem. You may be able to register directly with Stephanie until the user interface issue is fixed. Dead Rose says, hi, Dr. David. Hi, Dead Roses. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. Newbie says, thank you again. I just pondered on that, everything inside of us, and that we cannot trust in external stuff, but I think it might be helpful. Okay. Michelle Tenowitz says, you need to come to South Africa, on my to-do list. Fortune says, yes, please come to Toronto. We love you here. Working on it. It'll probably be in the summertime because I can't stand the cold. Is this live on YouTube now? Yes, it is. People who are having trouble with the website, you can still get tickets by calling. Okay. Just remember who sent you. Just tell them who sent you. Thank you for all you do, David. So grateful for all your expertise. Thank you, my friends. Listen, click that link. Let me put all this information in the chat one more time. I'm also going to put this in I'm going to put this also in the comments section below the video. 858-282-4663. Glasso says, hi, David, I'm from Austria. Welcome, Glasso. Reading list reminder. I will post it. I promise. I have to get it from Seth. Once it's posted, I'll post it in the comment section of the chat or for this video. Berlin is open too if you want it. Also on my to-do list, guys and gals. All right. I love you all. Have a great day. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you online at the Best You Expo, Killer Influence, or Attraction Mastery. For those of you who are looking at more comprehensive events, if you go to www.davidsnydernlp.com /events. You can find our full events calendar. In the meantime,